many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going how I deliver. My game too cold, made it shiver, but I'm still a hot boy. Cool it down, let it simmer. Hey, see him mad, got him better. Can't stop the shine with a dimmer. Only what I give her, and she let her call me baby, but I do not need a sitter. See me dip, yeah, I'm saucing. People let the bank see me often. Let the money run, it's a faucet. She gave me the that's a bosses. Took over the game, now we all in. I was down in the chips, they went all in. Throwing up the game, ain't no vomit. Make my mama stop working, that's the promise. Going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm P-P-P-Low, time to bring the bass bird.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Oakland Raiders and the Green Bay Packers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we come to you from one of the truly iconic stadiums in the NFL as you get a look at Lambeau Field here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Oakland Raiders and the Green Bay Packers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Packer team as we enter play here. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, they come off a disappointment last time out that put an end to their modest 3-game win streak. Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by a man who was undrafted out of Buffalo, standing at 6'7". It's Tyree Jackson.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss, okay? And he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team.
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's 2nd down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
From the 29, Jackson. And a grab by Croft. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
To throw again on second down. Jackson. That's complete to the former Aggie Jay Sternberger. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 37.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 37-yard line. From the gun, Jackson. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Gross. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer first down.
Nice methodical opening drive here. They're already into field goal range. They're in a good spot. You know that people like to take a shot in this part of the field. But at the same time, as methodical as they've been, they might want to run the ball a little bit here too.
Yeah, just on the outskirts of the red zone, they have options now. Either way, though, they've come out with a purpose. 13 yards, first down, Packers. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the...
He'll be hit and taken down at the 21.
You better be ready next time.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
Let's get off the field. Let's get off.
On second down, a run with Breida. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Matt Breida, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Packers take it field and score on the opening drive. Now, this is a crew, they've come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because, you know, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you really haven't. You're in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. You know, get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right. The PAT up and good, but hold on a second. There is a flag.
Roughing the kicker. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So now it's the Raiders' turn to go on offense for the first time. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and it's not. That tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
On 1st and 10, Richards. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Richards escaping the pressure right. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down. But Charles, in the past, a lot of people called this offense one-dimensional.
I think you did.
Well,
I think it was you.
I'll be honest, I did. I think the fan base is hoping with this young rookie that they can put some wrinkles in this offense like we just saw.
I think you're exactly right, because we did have that discussion that what we've seen in the past from them, they needed to broaden, and they have done it here. Look at what he's bringing to their offense, and now as a defensive coordinator, you've got some extra work to do to prepare for him and their offense. Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3.
You got nothing. Check. Crunch.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
First down, Raiders.
Throwing on 1st down, Richards. He's got Smith here. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Here's Jacobs from the gun. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down. Let's take a look now at how Green Bay will line up defensively. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
One thing players always tell us is that they never really pay attention to numbers. I don't believe them for a second. They know where they rank, okay? They're not quite at the top, but they're far from the bottom. But let's face it, they want to move up. In order to do that, they've got to look at each other and make sure everyone's taking care of their assignments in order to play the run better.
From the gun on 3rd down, Richards. He's got a man open. It's Hunter Renfrow. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Pretty solid start for the rookie here on this first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence, stepping back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find open receivers, and deliver. That just means his confidence is going to continue to grow because he's getting more and more comfortable with each completed pass.
1st and goal, and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. Everyone jump.
Back to throw. Richards under a heavy rush, and down he goes. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. Jacobs now. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
Carlson able to put this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like that one?
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal, so, hey, if you've got... And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Maurice Hurst gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. To throw is Jackson. Making the catch is Sternberger.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
The Raiders call on a nickel set here for 3rd down. Now it's Jackson. And that is incomplete. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the 1st down, even throwing the football.
On now is the Packers punter, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And
he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Packers pick it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether he's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Yeah, we had the fumble last week. Now here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble loss.
Concentration has got to be there, and he's got to understand how much time he has to take care of a play. And maybe his clock is off just a little bit.
On 1st down, here's Breida. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 13 yards, first down, Packers.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Out of the shotgun, Breida. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
On the delay, here's Breida. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
This will be fielded at the 8. And an alley to run. He's at the 50, 30, past the 20, and all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. That a 92-yard kick return as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him, kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And we are even at 10 apiece. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. They'll start on the ground with Breida. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Now Jackson, and his throw's going to be incomplete.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Jackson now. He's got the tight end, Sternberger. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a 1st down.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Pass hauled in by the 6'4" tight end Sternberger. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Throwing again on second down. Jackson, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
On third down, Jackson. Wide open receiver complete. Touchdown, Packers. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Packers have taken the lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Extra point right down the middle. And that makes it a 17-10 score. So that drives 6 plays, 75 yards. And it ends with a Packers touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
You know, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive. Let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Check, check. Lucky.
On second down, it's Jacobs. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
No.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. Jair Alexander up to make the tackle.
Second and 9 at the 42-yard line.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 38-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On first down, Richards stepping up. He's going to keep it. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Operating from the gun, Richards. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Matt Breed in the offense heading back out. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And you can see they trail the visiting Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, over 100 yards on the afternoon thus far, with a touchdown run as well. Finally, let's get down to Miami to see what's going on with the Dolphins. And in that one, it's the visiting Giants who have the lead. The Giants trying to finish that one off and claim victory. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over something.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Rashawn Gary able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. They will run the draw with Jacobs. He's able to get 4 back on the run, but now they'll have to find something here on 3rd and about 14.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. Here's the Packers offense now getting set to start off this 3rd quarter. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done. I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Check 53. Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time.
On 2nd and 15 now. Jackson, and his throw's going to be incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And the Raiders have got him. Montez Sweat in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down.
Well, partner, we know they came out of the locker room down on the scoreboard, but I will guarantee you the defensive side of the ball got super emotional. They can come out and play with aggressiveness, with fury, because they don't have to be quite as precise, and it paid off for them on that play, didn't it?
Sure did. Excellent play, really setting the tone for this 3rd quarter. On now is the Packers punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. This is taken at the 23. A good return there, 17 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. From the gun, Richards. And he whips that one incomplete there.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
The open man here, Renfro. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll bring up 4th down.
They completed the screen on the perimeter, but boy, that was textbook defense. Exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
42 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. It was Maurice Hurst who got him down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Give him 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Breida. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 44-yard line. Jackson from the shotgun. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line.
Like how they've started the third quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their second win coming out of the locker room. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. This is Breida on the draw. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Jackson. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense. Well, he gets everything he could into this one. The trajectory's good. It's definitely online. They just need a little more oomph behind it, and it'll wind up falling just shy of the crossbar.
Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. Throwing to start the drive. Richards. Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Looking to throw. Richards. He's going to air one out, and it's knocked away and incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Richards. And that will be incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. How do you break down his game so far? Just the one touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't, not until you balance it with the error side. You know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. But that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team, because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They run again with Breida. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got Sternberger. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 13 yards, 1st down Packers. This quarterback now 11 of 15 through the 1st and 10. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. A quick throw out to Adams on the perimeter. Touchdown, Packers! Davante Adams with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. When they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone. Extra point splits the uprights, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Just a 4-play drive that time. And the result, a Green Bay score. This one taken from the 7. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. 2nd and 1. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for third down. From the gun on third down, Richards.
Let's go. Let's do it.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Bring it.
Throwing again. Richards being chased out left. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
Now a carry for Jacobs. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down.
Let's go.
Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
Back to throw. Richards stepping up. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. A 15-yard touchdown run as his guys are back within a single score. He continues to show at this level that he can not only pass for touchdowns, he can run for touchdowns.
Not the first time we've seen this because this young guy, he really makes it happen. So what that tells me is the book on him has to change. You got to now plan for those legs as well as him throwing the football.
Rush in.
They're going to keep it on the ground. And he will dive into the end zone, and the 2-point conversion is successful. Well, I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now come the Packers for their next drive as we take a look at the playoff race in the NFC coming into the weekend. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
Check nickel, nickel, nickel.
This is Breida. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
The throw right sideline here is complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. 4 to go now as they come up on second down.
I got you. I got you.
They go play action now. Jackson. It's caught here by Adams. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 41-yard line.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Throwing is Jackson. And that's complete to Adams. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. It's a gain of 16 and a first down for the green and gold. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Heavy on the edges, heavy on the edges. He's checking, he's checking, he's checking.
And the grab by Crom. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up second down. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 2nd and 2, Jackson. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and short.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. Throw left side complete. That's Gross. He's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
3 down, 3 down. Hey, check, check. 3 down.
Running out of the gun here, Breida. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
So it's all over. A Green Bay victory, and it wasn't really always pretty. They had their bumps and bruises. Really, both sides did, but they did what they needed to do at home to get the win.
Yeah, they really had to grind this one out, didn't they? Because nothing came easy. Every snap was a major league brawl. They had to win at the line of scrimmage, win downfield. They got all